Hey guys, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you today doing a retro review of another Palladium product. If you've been keeping track of the Palladium retro reviews, I started off with World Book 1, The Vampire Kingdoms. I went on to World Book 2, Atlantis, and now we're moving on to World Book 3, RIFTS, England. I believe there's been an updated cover to this one. As you can see, I still have the old school one with the lizard man watching, the ogre fight people in the background. The England book is probably Rift's most magical setting. It's really where Rifts and Palladium fantasy kind of meet and cross paths, is the way I like to think about it. Couple things to know about it. It's got Millennium Trees. They're very important. They're these huge trees. They're like 1,000 foot tall. Some of them are even big enough to have like full cities in. People live in them. Their leaves are MDC, so you can make leaf armor. You can make wands out of their branches. They're magical. If you attack one of them, you'll take damage. All kinds of stuff. So very magical in that sense. Also, with it being in England, not only does it have like Scotland, Ireland, and all of the British Isles, right? They're all involved, and they all have their own special things. Some of them have like fairies. Some of them have just different things. Also, if you're an Arthurian historian, I believe that's how you pronounce it, or an Arthur historian, the legend of Camelot and the Knights of the Round Table and all that, those guys are all statted out in here, and you can even play as some of those guys. You can be like a Nexus Knight or a Death Knight, all that kind of stuff. So let's kind of dig right into Rifts England. First off, as with most of the older Rifts ones, it starts off, it's going to give you information about some information from Erin Tarn and her travels to England and what she's seen. She's kind of the person who guides you through the exploration of Rift's Earth. And then it gets right in, and let's see. First thing it does is it gets into the Millennium Trees. Let's get a good picture here of a Millennium Tree. So that's what you're looking at as far as the size of Millennium Trees. I mean, they're these huge, massive trees that have grown up. All reminiscence of England prior to Rifts, like cities and stuff, that's all gone. There's no mention of that in here, at least not to my recollection. Then you get into the next major section is going to be the Herbalist, the Druids, and herbs and magic. So there's several OCCs you need to know about. The Herbalist OCC, then you got Woodland Druids, the Phalid, the Dryads, and the Skathok. Alright, these are all going to be, and also the Millennium Druid. These are all going to be different types of druidic characters that use herb magic. And herb magic, is just made from like stuff that grows on trees and stuff like that. So very much falls in line with like Palladium Druids and stuff like that. But it also goes into further, it explains to you like how aliens and alien magic intersects, and like brain trees and all kinds of stuff. It even goes through, it's got, like, here's a brain tree, but then it's got several different plant life that you can encounter and what they do, and each of them have a function. You can get a house made of giant mushrooms, live in a fungi castle, just all kinds of stuff. So you deal with that. So you got a whole brand new type of magic, so herb magic. And then next is going to kind of go through and classify some of the RCCs that are available, which are the Chainku, the Earth Child, the Star Child, the Debak, the Mantis Sectal, and the Cernum Mystic, which is also known as like the Hornhead Lizard Man. All right, the Chanku. Let me talk about him for a second because they're very important. Chanku dragons. In fact, we're here on Chanku. Chanku dragons are the creators and protectors of tattoo magic. So if you remember from Earth Atlantis, all the tattoo men and the Tea Monster men and all them, all that type of magic comes from the Chanku dragons. So it was very popular back in the day to make a Chanku dragon RCC so that you could start tattooing up all of your characters. I definitely remember doing that. Then the children of the earth and stars. So those are going to be like the children of the earth are people who are like, think of like Swamp Thing, like half man, half tree, half living vegetation, something like that. And then the children of the stars, same thing, half man, half like outer space made material, and they come with their own information and stuff. The Dugba and the Mantis Sectal, they are like giant insectoid RCCs that they're playable. Now there is a whole nother group of monsters in this book that are all like insect based and like mutant insect based, so they're like giant mutants. Here's the what is it, the horned lizard, rammed horned lizard man. And you can be a couple different things that you can be, like you can be a warrior class. Typically though, they're a magic class. Then like I said, it goes through, it's got all these different giant insectoid creatures all fully statted out that you can run up against. The next thing it gets into is temporal magic. So magic that has to do with dimensional traveling and time traveling, okay? And there's 3 main classes that you can be based on this. That's the temporal wizard, all right, the temporal warrior, and the temporal raider. And the wizard, just kind of what you think. Wizard, warrior is kind of what you think. The temporal raider is kind of like a cross between a crazy and a mind bleeder. So the temporal raider, in fact, here's a picture. Pull that up there. Temporal raider, has probably the most abilities of the temporal classes. And then it outlines, temporal magic spells. So there's your second, for those keeping track, there's your second brand new, all new magical class in here with a large spell list. All right. Then after that, that's when you're going to get into the dark forces at New Camelot, right? And that's going to be, the tales of Merlin the Enchanter. You got the Lady of the Lake. You got all the stuff from the Arthur Legends, Lady Guinevere, Supreme Nexus Knights, which they kind of act as the servants of Merlin. Funny enough, things like Merlin are all spelled funny. I don't know if that was a worry about a copyright issue. I can't imagine that you can copyright Merlin, but they definitely did that. And then like it also shows in here like how you can mix in with all these old knights and stuff. You still get your power armors and stuff like that can go through and fight, right alongside your Nexus Knights and your Death Knights. Alright. Then you also have, you've got Ghost Knights. Then it goes through your standard, Human Knights, your Cavaliers. It has the full Knight OCC, a Royal Knight statted out. Here's King Arthur with Merlin in the background. So, you can see those guys. And all these characters that I'm mentioning are fully statted out. Sir Percival, or Sir Percy. Sir Dread, Sir Galahad. Then it goes through, and after that, it jumps into New Camelot. So it starts going by region. So it gives you like New Camelot, the walls of New Camelot, which is very much like you would imagine a medieval fantasy setting. Then it's got the British Isles stats out all the information you know about Stonehenge and the, you know, what its effects are. The Fairy Kingdom, which is the Nortown Fairy Kingdom, is statted out in here. The Pyramid of Merlin. So as you know, Rifts and their Nexus lines all connected pyramids and stuff, and Merlin has his own pyramid, which I believe is one of the first. Well, Vampire Kingdoms had pyramids listed too, but this is one of the first ones that we saw that wasn't in North America, obviously. And so, you know, it's got the Goblin Kingdom. It's got all this stuff. It goes through, it lists out, it goes to Scotland, and you get all the Celtic gods. And so it lists out the Celtic gods and people who you can run into and adventure with. This was kind of a way to play, not only was it an introduction to Palladium fantasy, but it was a way to play a fantasy style game and still have the Rift's full flavor to it. Kingdom of Terramore, other strange places, and then after that it's just going to go into a couple adventure plots. So I know this is running long, but I just wanted to talk about this. As you can see, I still got my original Something to Do, which is the store that I bought it at, sticker on there. $15.99, what I paid for it back in the day. Meanwhile, book price $15.95, so I paid an extra 4 cents just to get this from there. But you know, a great book, a great supplement. You can have a ton of fun. Some of the classes, I mean, the Chainku class, RCC is a must. The Temporal Raiders and stuff like that, Nexus Knights, Death Knights, all that stuff is a must. The Millennium Wands and Staffs and Millennium Leafs, you know, all that helps to spice up your Rifts campaign. So if you get a chance, again, this one was by Kevin Simbidi himself. So check out World Book 3, England, Rifts. Later, guys.